Okay. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Don't mind me. I just have to plug in a lamp here and get my lighting up. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the big show. How you doing? Don't mind me. I just have to plug in a lamp. There we go. The big show for Monday night. It is Monday, May the 20th, 2024. And I am sorry to say that tonight is the last show from Palm Desert, California. We're heading back to Canada, back to Calgary on Sunday as we work our way back to our home. And winter is over for us here in the US, and back to Canada we go. Even though it's only in the high 60s right now, mid 50s, high 60s, maybe low 70s in Calgary, but the days are quickly going to improve here as we come into early June. So, there it is. We gotta head her up, and that's what we're going to do. Now, next week Monday is a holiday in the U.S., and I won't be on the air for my other channel, so I won't be on the air for this channel. So I will take a week off. I'll take next Monday off, and then be back with you the Monday after that from Calgary. So that is the proposed schedule here. We'll have just returned Sunday evening, and we will be unpacking and organizing our house and figuring out where everything is. And so I won't be off. I won't be on the air next Monday. So don't look for me then. But then we'll be back to our regular schedule. Now, big news. I got big news for you guys. Those of you who have joined me here live, those of you who are watching me on the rerun, by the way, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me know where you're watching me from. Tell me what temperature you're going to have in your hometown. What's the price of gas where you live? Jen and I we're taking a cruise. As a matter of fact, we're not taking one cruise. We're not taking two cruises. We're taking three cruises. We are booked on three cruises coming up, and we're kind of excited about this. So here's the deal. We wanted to go to Europe again this year, while we're still young enough and healthy enough to travel, and with Jennifer having two new hips in 2 years, we're hoping that she's going to be well enough to be mobile enough to enjoy the holidays coming up. So we're going to head to Europe for August, latter part of August, September, and most of October. And similar timing to last year's travels, except that this year we're not flying to Europe. We've decided, we're not going to fly to Europe. We're not going to fly home either. We're going to take the Queen Mary too. We're going across on the Queen Mary. So here's the story. Let me show you what I got here on our itinerary. See if we can pop this up for you. Let's see if you can show you the deal. If I remember to do this correctly. Don't mind me. Do re mi do. What am I doing here? Hang on one second. It would help if I would. It would help if I would show off the itineraries. Okay, here we go. I have some photos for you, and I have some itineraries for you. So just bear with me one moment. I'm going to show you the three cruises we are booked on for our holiday coming up, and I'll show you what we're talking about here. There we go. And then I think if I go back to this, there's what I needed to see. And then I wanted to show you this second thing, which is coming up here. Hang on. And I got just one more thing, and I got it. Okay. Alrighty. Lots of photos today to go over with you. All right. We're going to be on. There we go. We're going to be on this ship right here, the Queen Mary 2. We booked a balcony cabin. They call it a sheltered balcony. So if you take a look at that cruise ship right there, you notice where the lifeboats are on the Queen Mary 2. They're on that just above the promenade deck. And if you look just below the promenade deck, There are 2 rows in that white painted area of what look like square windows, and then below that there's another row of square windows in the dark black painted area of the ship. Anyway, we're about the middle of the ship on the top balcony row, or the top row just underneath the promenade deck, deck 6. We've got a sheltered cove balcony suite that we've been able to book. If you're on the ship at the back, this is what you're looking at here. Various levels of the ship at the back have pools and jacuzzis. Here's the lobby, if I recall, or no, that's the restaurant. Beautiful, one of the main restaurant. Here's a shot, of course, of the ship leaving harbor in New York, and that's what we're going to do. I'll show you our itinerary in a minute. This is the spa area on board the ship here, and this is what our suite looks like, or our cabin, really. It's a king-size bed with a couch, like a love seat, and a seating area. And then we have our balcony, and I'll show you here. Here's a better view of our balcony, what it looked like. This is not the exact unit we're in, but you can see here we have a door that we open up to the outside, and then you see on the outside it's sort of a enclosed balcony with an open area there, and that is where you can look out to see the ocean. And because this is an ocean liner, like I say right here, this is an ocean liner, the last and only ocean liner that crosses the Atlantic on a regular basis. There's 2 levels of balconies. The 3 decks that we're part of, 6, 5, and 4. And again, number 6 is the top row of windows there, or the top squares just before the promenade deck where those lifeboats are. That's deck 6. And then deck 9, 10, 11, 12, those are the upper balconies. And those, first of all, are a whole lot more money. And number 2, they weren't available. So when we came to decide to do this, we had to book deck 6. And so we're on deck 6. And so we're looking forward to this adventure. Here's our first cruise. We're going across from New York to Southampton. Not very complicated. You get on the ship on Friday, August the 23rd. And we depart New York out of Brooklyn at 5 p.m. and we will arrive in Southampton on Friday, August the 30th. So, that's a transatlantic cruise in this simplest form. But here's our next cruise. We stay on the ship on the 30th, and we continue on back to back. And this is the kind of cruise. This is a cruise that I've been telling you about that Jen and I wanted to do. We wanted to do a Scottish Isle cruise this year. So here we are. We're going to be leaving Southampton on August the 30th in the afternoon, and we head north up to Edinburgh and a number of these other stops here, Isle of May, Inverness, then over to Isle of Skye, and then to Greenock and Liverpool. We have a 2-nighter in Liverpool. Then we're into Cork, Ireland. There's somebody in Cork, Ireland we're coming to visit, and looking forward to enjoying some good Irish company there. And then we head back to Southampton. And so here's the itinerary. As you can see, leaving Friday, August the 30th, Southampton. Sea day on Saturday the 31st. Sunday, the September 1st, we're going to be in Edinburgh and then the Isle of May cruising. Then Invergordon on Scotland on the 2nd. Isle of Skye on the 3rd. Sea day on the September the 4th. September 5th, Glasgow. September 6th to 7th, Liverpool. September 8th, we're at sea. And September 9, Ringaskiddy, Ireland. That's right by Cork. Then a sea day, and then back to Southampton on Wednesday, September 11th. That is our Scottish Isle cruise that we have been looking to book now for 2 years. We were looking to do it last year, couldn't do it. We're going to do it this year, and we're doing it on the Queen Mary 2. Now, coming home, we're going to board the ship in Hamburg, Germany. We're going to catch the Queen Mary 2 in Hamburg. And our itinerary to come back, I believe, is here. Yeah, we leave Hamburg Tuesday, October the 15th. And We last were on the ship September the 11th, and on 1 month, 4 days later, we catch up with the Queen Mary 2 in Hamburg. We have a sea day. We go to Southampton, and then we go to Le Havre in France on Friday the 18th, and then we cross the Atlantic, arriving back in Brooklyn on Friday, October the 25th. And those are the 3 cruises that Jen and I have booked for each other, ourselves, on this ship right here, the Queen Mary 2 with Cunard. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't on a super discount. We didn't get a deal, but we're booked. And we've decided this year what we'll not do is we'll not do the plane ride across the Atlantic. We'll do the ocean liner ride back and forth. I have a suspicion this might be very meaningful to me. I crossed the Atlantic twice as a child in 1959 and 1962. And my father and my mother came across the Atlantic to Canada. My father in 1950, I think 51, and my mother in 52, if I'm not mistaken, to immigrate to Canada. And so we'll be crossing the North Atlantic kind of in a similar area where my parents had crossed. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Excuse me, I'm very excited about it. We're going to be in Southampton, as I say, after the Scottish cruise is over, and then we're going to be probably going to be in London for about 2 weeks. I think what we want to do is not to pack and unpack every 3 days. So we're going to get off the ship, head by rail into London, catch a 2-week accommodation in London. That'll get us up to about the 25th or so of September, and then we head to Europe and the continent, and we will end up, and I'm not sure exactly how we're doing it. We might fly out of London. We might fly right to Switzerland and spend 2 weeks in Zermatt. We're quite happy to return to that beautiful village in the Alps yet again for the 3rd year in a row. And this time we might stay 2 weeks there. We were there 2 weeks the first time, 1 week last year, and I would love to be there 2 weeks this year. And then we will be working our way north until we reach Hamburg. Now, I haven't figured out how we're doing it, where we're going, and anything else, but we're going to end up in Hamburg a few days before the cruise. And we're going to check out that miniature museum again for the 3rd year in a row. And so we're going to do that. There's a few other things we're going to see in the city, I'm pretty sure. This time around, we're going to spend a little extra time in Hamburg. And then the Queen Mary 2, back to New York City. We're going to get to New York before our cruise, was it 23rd of August? We're going to get there a few days before, and we'll stay a few days after. That's kind of the also part of the big picture to enjoy the Big Apple and its sights. But we haven't decided yet how many days prior, how many days after, where exactly, how, what, where, and when. This I don't know, but yeah, we're kind of pumped up to do it. I said to Jen, we would like to cruise. We haven't cruised in a long time, COVID and everything else. So why don't we do something? And I was thinking maybe we would just do a Scottish cruise, a Mediterranean cruise, a New England cruise. And then I thought, how about this? Why don't we just go across the Atlantic, do that, and then come back? That would be kind of nice. So that guy nailed it down yesterday, got it all booked up, and we're looking forward to doing it. So thank you, those of you who are viewers of this channel. If some of you might be in the New York area before our cruise or after our cruise, we might work out a deli somewhere to catch up with. Or if you're going to be in London at all during the 2 weeks we're there, or some of you want to go to Zermatt, I can highly recommend Zermatt. but that's a little out of the way to get to. It's not, you just don't get there in 1 second. But in any event, it's worth it anyway. And if any of you are going to be in Humber, fantastic. Love to see you in Humber or New York on the way home. One never knows. If by some miracle any of you have booked a cruise on the Queen Mary 2 for those 3 cruises, any of those 3, let us know. We're happy to run into you on the ship too. Anyway, yeah, we're excited about it. Sharon is here, just saying thumbs up, number 1. I can't stick around for the show. Good morning from Tokyo. We're spending our anniversary at the Tokyo Dome tonight. Catch you next week. Isn't this awesome? Looking forward to hearing from Sharon about that. Ken Kareka, hi Bruce and Jen. It's 79 degrees in Saginaw with thunderstorms by around 10 p.m. tonight. Gasoline $3.65 a gallon. Jen and Ken, we're also number 1 on the thumbs up. Welcome, guys. Kirk Brunson, YouTube, Facebook channel. Hey, pal. Hi, Bruce and TW family. Kirk from New York City is here and number 2 on the thumbs ups. Buddy. Thank you. Tim Bowman is here. Tim is here from an unusually sunny Seattle, 1 week back from our 33-day Sydney to Seattle Majestic Princess Cruise. Fabulous time. Absolutely awesome. Tim Bowman, number 4 on the thumbs up. Tim Bowman, 65 Fahrenheit in Seattle. Thank you, sir. Ken Kareka, I think 3 of us hit the thumbs up all around the same time. The counter went from 0 to 3 just like that. Alan Fiddler, congrats on your upcoming cruises. Roger, good evening from Jacksonville, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, $3.19 a gallon here at BGS. Ann Rogers, hello from Ancaster, Ontario. On the Queen Victoria long weekend here in Canada, the weather has been beautiful all weekend. 31 Celsius today. Gas is $1.64 a liter. Expensive. Ms. M, hi all from sunny Maple Ridge. 16 Celsius or 64 Fahrenheit. Larry Blake, good evening, everyone. I'm number 16 on the thumbs up meter tonight. Roger Holcomb, number 15, made hotel reservation at Zermatt after Glacier Express train trip. Definitely worth it. Ms. M, gas just under $2 a liter. Number 14, my favorite number. Awesome. Tim Bowman, that's a nice itinerary on the second cruise. It's similar to what we did on the Regal Princess last summer, only clockwise. Yes, we were looking at that cruise, actually, for a while, but it never worked out last year. Tim, way to go in booking those 3 cruises. Donnell, hi, Bruce and Jen. Excited for you both regarding those 3 cruises. Adventures during summer and fall. We are coming for you, buddy. We're coming to see you. Kirk Brunson, Cat's Deli in Manhattan sounds pretty good to me. Donnell, I gave you a thumbs up, but my counter stuck at number 4. The only way to you just do a refresh on your refresh button, and that'll refresh the show, but you might miss some time. So, not to worry, my friend. Welcome to the show. Can't wait to see you in Cork, Ireland. This summer or this September. We're looking forward to catching up with you. We will be in Cork, Ireland on, let me double check this right here, see if I can get this to work. There we go. We'll be in Cork on Monday, September the 9th. Hopefully you're available. Are you in town? Hopefully that'll work out. Fantastic. Thank you all. And thanks, Donnell, for your support of this channel, as always. Fantastic, everybody. There we go. Great stuff. Yeah, look, I'm actually looking to put together a meet and greet in London. I'm going to put a meet and greet together for, I'm working on my other channel, Stock Markets with Bruce, to put a meet and greet together there. And once I know kind of a locale, I have a local or 2 over there, and we'll figure out a locale to do this at. Then I'll let you guys know here in case any of you happen to be in London on that particular day. It's going to be a Saturday in London. We'll let you know when I know, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Who knows? We might actually visit with each other and go to old London town. That's quite all right. So yes, we're quite optimistic about this. We've got not too many places to go to, not too many hotels to spend time at, or bed and breakfast or whatever, Airbnbs, and this gives us a pretty easy transition. We won't be doing a rail pass this summer. We won't be doing that kind of travel this time around, and I'm quite looking forward to 2 weeks in London, actually, where we can just stop and there are museums we want to go to that we have not yet been able to see. And so, yeah, Jen and I, with Jennifer's new hips and hopefully with her knee injection paying off with no pain, we'll be mobile. And the worst case scenario is I will have Jen in a wheelchair at these museums as I push her around, and we'll, every second day or so, or every third day, we'll go out. Out of 14, we'll maybe do 4 or 5 glass spots. We'll just see how it goes. I love that. Zermatt is all about wellness. Zermatt is where we will stay at a resort hotel there with a spa as well as part of the thing, and we'll treat ourselves and take care of ourselves and relax, and then work our way to, like I say, to Hamburg, and then back on the ship with its own spa situation, and we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, there'll be lots of videos coming out from the channel now. The videos about us in New York prior to the cruise, then videos from the ship itself, tours of the ship, and of course on our Scotland tour, there'll be video after video for that, and then we'll be putting I'll be doing some video work out of London again this year, and again a little bit of video work out of Zermatt, and I got to highlight the Monaco Grand Prix at the Miniature Museum. It's open now. I got to go, so I've got to check that out. There's a bunch of videos already about it, so I'm looking forward to putting one up myself, and we'll see how it all plays out. I think this year I'm going to take a behind-the-scenes tour of the Miniature Museum, which is like a 2-hour behind-the-scenes tour of the facility where they show you all the logistics. I'm looking forward to that, and I will be making a video about that. So stay tuned. So there'll be all kinds of videos coming up, including the video of our trip from Hamburg back to New York on the QE2 as well. So yeah, we're geared up, and we'll get started again on our cruise adventures and see what happens after that. Once we get home in October, it'll be late October. We're going to spend November in Calgary. Looks like, I think Jen and I have kind of worked it out. We're going to stay in Calgary for December, and then in January, we will depart Calgary, if all plans come together, Australia. And we'll head to Australia in January and February, and part of March will be New Zealand at least. So that at least 3 months will be Australia and New Zealand. It might be 3.5 months. And then we end up back here in California for the rest of the winter before we return to Canada in June of next year after May. So that's kind of the plan in a roundabout sense that is coming together. So we have this trip coming up, which is a 2-month trip, and then a 4-month trip, which is 3 to 4 months us down under, and the 2 months or so in Palm Desert again next year. That's what we're plotting right now. We'll keep you posted. Kirk Brunson, my vacation is the last week of August. I never did a cruise out of Southampton. I got to ask the wife. Ms. Ann Bruce, you and Jen can take advantage of all the relaxing spa facilities. Your favorite. That's what I'm hoping for. Tim Bowman, Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel. Southampton is a wonderful cruise terminal city. Lots to do and see there. Debbie Emmanuel, hi Debbie. Emmanuel, hi Debbie. We will miss your weekly chats, but always love your vacation videos. True. We'll see if we can do. I don't know if I can do weeklies from the road, but we'll definitely crank out videos, and then I'll be back on weeklies again when we return. So stay tuned. Yeah, you never know. I might be able to do a weekly from time to time off the ship because I'm looking to get the enhanced internet package for my other channel. So I may well be able to pull off this show on the Queen Mary. We'll see how that works out. Donnell, in case you're wondering, that other world famous Bruce, the boss, is these days, he just completed a 4-date sellout tour in Ireland this past week. He entertained 80,000 fans in Dublin yesterday. Isn't that incredible? He and Garth Brooks, they could sell out for days in a row. Just unbelievable. Garth Brooks, I think Garth Brooks once had He tried to book 6 consecutive nights in Ireland years and years ago, and there was an issue with getting the booking figured out, and it never happened. But the tickets sold out in hours for 6 consecutive shows. But yeah, the boss, wherever he goes, how much longer is the boss going to be touring? He's getting up there, like me. We're getting up there, unbelievable. But and we're looking forward to visiting you. Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, I was looking around for cruise news today to talk to you about, or just a topic to talk to you about today regarding cruising. By the way, thanks for the thumbs ups, everybody. Keep them coming. And I decided today I would touch on a topic that is near and dear to all of our hearts when it comes to cruising, and that is known as the extra charges that we get dinged on cruise ships. And things have really changed in the last number of years. Cruise lines are desperate for revenue any way they can get it, and they're famous for playing games with us where they'll show a super cheap cruise fare, and then they'll nail you with all the up charges, and they're just notorious for it. Norwegian Cruise Line, the worst of the worst. These guys are just ridiculous when it comes to charges. And I thought I would run a couple of these by you and find out if you've run into any of these charges when you've been on your recent cruises. Also, I found a couple of cruises that I'm going to talk to you about today. And I want to compare one cruise to the other cruise when it comes to all-inclusive or not. And you let me know what's the way to go here. But I tell you, I found an article that was talking about these surcharges, these cruise surcharges. And it was interesting because they quoted in the article, they quoted a base fare of $179 for a cruise, probably a 3 or 4 nighter, something like that. This is a per person charge. But the taxes and fees for this short cruise was $118.65 per person. So you paid $180 for the cruise and $120 for taxes and fees. Well, that's a $300 cruise right off the bat, and you haven't had anything to drink yet. This is just getting started. But the charges that we're aware of, some we're very familiar with, some are new. One of the newer charges is only in the last 5-10 years, and that's internet charges, where you can now use your device anywhere on the ship, including your cabin. You can use your laptop, your iPad, $15 to $30 a day, even as high as $50 a day for high-speed internet capability. Now, I'll tell you, I remember my first cruise in 2008 on a cruise ship out of San Diego, the Holland America Oosterdam. Jennifer and I went with another couple who were friends of ours, and they booked a cabin on one end of the ship. We booked a cabin on another end of the ship, and Jennifer and I, we ended up buying an internet package. Well, in those days, in 2008, there was no such thing as wireless internet service on a cruise ship. You had to go to the internet cafe or business area of the ship, and you were sitting in front of a desktop, and you were looking at super slow internet service. I mean, it was bad. And really all it was good for was to receive and send emails, and even that wasn't very quick. But I remember in those days, I think we were paying $2 a minute for internet. Like you could walk in there and buy 10 minutes of internet for $20, or you could buy like an hour of internet for like 16 minutes of internet for $60. And you could use 5 or 10 minutes a day. If you could limit yourself to that, you'd be 5-10 minutes a day on the internet, and then you maybe tomorrow check emails, and the next day. And hopefully, cross your fingers, $100 would get you through the whole cruise, right? So $2 a minute, 50 minutes, $100. Those are the way, that was the way it used to be done. Now it's, 15, 20, 40, $50 per day. And sometimes you're talking $40 per day per device in most cases as well. So if you've got, each of you have a device and you've got two kids with you, you have four devices, you can be talking $150 a day here in internet charges for a 7-day cruise. That's $1,050. I don't know if there's a gratuity added to the internet fee, but wow, that can be a killer, right? We've heard also in the last while that room service, which used to be free, no longer is free. Apparently, though, on the Queen Mary 2, it is free. It is included now, and Queen Mary 2 does not have a surcharge for room service. But they're calling these room service charges convenience fees. Yeah, some convenience fee. $7.95 to $9.95 for a delivery of food to your room, and in other cases, depending on the cruise line, they're charging you for the food itself. They'll give you 3 or 4 selections that are included in your cruise fare, but over that, there are selections that you pay extra for, plus the delivery charge, plus an 18% mandatory gratuity. So I'll tell you, the room service thing has really gone downhill, and that is something that has really left everybody. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible to find on the cheaper cruise lines any room service anymore without paying extra for it. 18% gratuity fee. I've heard up to now 20% automatic gratuity charges on drinks, spa services, you name it. I've also heard stories now. People are talking about how they get a bill for, like, they book a spa treatment, for example. They get a 1-hour massage, and it's $150, which is double what you would pay on land. And included in that charge is a gratuity. And then the person has the massage, and of course the masseuse tries to upsell you on all the creams and everything else they want you to buy. You try to say no to that. And then you get your bill when you're going through the front counter to sign for your room charge. They have a line there for an added tip. They're actually trying to ask you for another gratuity on top of the gratuity that is already included in the massage. So if you're not paying attention, and some people are not paying attention, they don't realize there's an 18 to 20% gratuity built into that $150. Like there's like $25 gratuity they already paid. And now some folks are adding another 20% gratuity on top of the $150 charge or the $200 charge, whatever you're charging up, whatever you're taking. Pretty steep stuff and sneaky. Drink packages. Well. There is the mystery question one has to ask oneself. Do you get a drink package when you get on a cruise ship? And if so, what kind of drink package do you get? Saw a video the other day. I thought it was very well done. It was a husband and wife that took a cruise on the Queen Mary, because I'm looking up Queen Mary cruises now. And they decided that they would not take the drink package on this particular cruise. That they decided that instead of paying the something like $80 a day plus tips, that they would just go a la carte. And they didn't hold back. They didn't go chintzy because of this. They had their lattes in the morning, and they had their wine with lunch and dinner, and they had their cocktails, whatever. They did not scrimp. And when it was all over, they did a comparison, and they figured out that about $300 of their charges that they were charged were actually for items that would not have been included in the drink package. In the drink package, you could buy beer and spirits and coffees and stuff, but you couldn't buy like an entire bottle of wine. If you wanted an entire bottle of wine, that was not part of the drink package. And so anyway, they did the mathematics, and they ended up spending, I think they said it was $1,050 for all their beverages, for the two of them, for this, I think, a transatlantic cruise, so 7-day cruise. And 300 of that was for orders that would not have been covered under the drink package. Now, the drink package would have come in at about $1,000. So they calculated that they spent $50 more than what a drink package would have been, but 300 of the 1,050 wasn't included in the drink package. So they really calculate we would have only had to have spent $750 on the drinks in the drink package, yet the drink package would have cost us $1,000 plus the $300 in other beverages they would have had, where their bill would have been $1,300. So I found that interesting for the two of them. Both of them were enjoying cocktails every day at different times of the day. They had specialty coffees. They didn't skimp. I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, in my case, I'm not a alcoholic drinker. I don't drink alcohol, so I am not interested in a beer. Or I'll drink a beer in Europe in a German restaurant, an Austrian restaurant, Swiss restaurant. I'll have a pint of beer, but I am not a rum and coke guy. I'm not a pina colada guy. I'm not a nothing like that. Only Jen likes to enjoy social drinking, and so on board the Cunard on the QE2, we're going to go a la carte. I don't see the need for us to have 2 drink packages to do. It doesn't make sense. Other stuff. Yeah, apparently, depending on the cruise line, you can now book an area of the ship called a kids-free zone or adult-only area of a cruise ship. I know that Princess has been doing this, and I think Royal Caribbean is now doing this, where they'll offer you a kids-free area to hang out at, quiet and reserved. Apparently, though, for half a day it's $20 per person. For a full day, it's $40 per person extra. So if you're on one of these Caribbean cruises with 3 sea days, you're going to pay dearly for that. And apparently, if you also on like Norwegian, for example, they have something called a Vibe Beach area, adults only, no children, $99 a person per day. And if you book a cabana, $278 for the two of you with a cabana for the day. That's more than your cabin. I mean, that's insanity. That's what they're doing. Main restaurants, now they're charging extra for certain foods in the main restaurants. It used to be that if you went to the main restaurant, everything in that main restaurant was included in the menu had no prices. So whatever's in the menu, you could order. Not anymore. Depending on the cruise line, Royal Caribbean is one of them, apparently. Carnival is another, where main dining rooms now have sort of 2 pages. One page, everything's included, and the other page is extra, and you pay for other items. So definitely for filet mignon, lobster, you're going to pay extra. Surf and turf, you're going to pay extra. $17 to $30 per person additional charge automatically. So the days of eat whatever you want and 5-star dining on every cruise ship, those days are over. Now you pay extra on. And then on top of that, of course, as you all know, if you've cruised in the last 5 years, every cruise line now has what they call specialty restaurants. And so you've got these other restaurants that are now charging an admission fee, a flat fee to get in, a service fee plus tips to get in, just to eat some Italian or some French cooking or something like that. Interesting. Thermal spa charges. Oh yeah, look, you guy like me, I love to use the thermal spa every day I'm on board a ship. You're talking upwards of as high as $50 per day if you're doing a 1-day purchase. There are some where they'll charge $200 for a week, $150 for a week. It depends how long the cruise is and what level of cabin you have. And if the spa is worth it, I'm a happy guy, because it keeps a lot of the passengers away. If it's $20, $25 a day extra to use a first-class facility, and you only have a small percentage of the ship actually paying that, perfect. Now you're not crowded with 1,000 people. That's the way you want it. I'm sure the cruise line will limit the number of day passes available on the spas. Interesting stuff. Of course, if you're a fan of Royal Caribbean, if you love no, not Royal Caribbean, if you love cruising on Norwegian cruise lines, then you know all about the track. Some of the ships have tracks, race tracks, go karts on them. They have laser tag areas. Royal Caribbean has this laser tags and other events. More and more of these added features are costing extra. Now, it's no surprise that on Norwegian, everything costs extra. Norwegian is famous for nickel and diming their passengers to death. Racetrack charges $10 to $15 per 8-lap route. Laser tag, $10 at least. You can get week-long passes for $199 a person, believe it or not. And that can be rather pricey. Also, service gratuity fees, service charges, gratuity charges. It used to be tipping. In the old days, when my mom and dad used to go cruising, especially ocean liner cruising and then Caribbean cruising in the 80s, you would get these little tiny envelopes in your cabin that would be dropped off by your room steward, and you might get 10 of these envelopes, and in each envelope you would put a $5 or a $10 bill, and depending on who you wanted to give the envelope to, some of these folks would get a $5 or $10 tip, some would get 10 or 15 or 20. So your room steward, your waiter, your captain in the dining room, of course this is the days before specialty dining. Now it's just a service charge. It used to be a gratuity that you could dispute, or you could choose not to pay or pay a portion of. But more and more, I think what's beginning to happen is becoming a mandatory surcharge, and they're going up. The days of the $8 a day tipping charge, optional tipping charge, is now been converted to $14 to $20 a day. In some cases, $25 a day, depending on what class of cabin you have with what cruise line. Interesting there. So what I did with all that information, with all those charges, and I know I haven't covered them all. There's more. You know there's more. I know there's more. I thought I would throw you something for you to look at. And by the way, Paper City Gamer Jeff is here saying hi, everybody. Michael Cannon is here. Good evening, Bruce. At Paper City, I love getting my room cleaned twice a day. It would suck if I picked a cruise. I couldn't do that. Ben Way, thank you for your work. Thank you guys for being here tonight, and thank you for the thumbs up. I went ahead and looked for two different cruises, similar in time, like length. And one cruise is a regular cruise line, and one cruise is a 6-star high-end cruise line. And I thought, let's compare the amount of money you would pay from one to another and what you get for your money, and see if it's worth your while or not. So what I did was, let me just take a look here, back here on my photos. I went to the first cruise, which was on this ship right here, the Holland America New Statendam. By the way, Rocky Grasso, thank you, my friend. 66 in Chesapeake, Virginia, going up. Welcome, my friend. Nice to have you here tonight. So the Holland America New Statendam, this is not a shabby ship at all. This is a wonderful ship, a wonderful crew, pretty nice cruise line. But I found a deal on a cruise on Holland America, and I thought it was kind of interesting to look at this. Of course, the ship itself, it has an indoor roofed in, or the roof can be opened up, a pool and jacuzzi area, beautiful spa area for all Holland America ships. Wonderful cabins. There's a nice example of a balcony cabin that Jennifer and I once rented, something like that. We were in one of those ones. Here's a dining room shot, really nice. No problems. This is a nice ship. Here's the buffet shot. Holland America, you are not skimping on if you're going on a cruise line. But I found this cruise. It's a cruise that left Copenhagen, would leave Copenhagen on the 15th of June. It's a 2-week cruise. It comes back to Copenhagen. First, you go out to sea, and then you go to Newcastle upon Tyne in England, then Edinburgh for a couple of nights, Kirkwall, Scotland, the Sea Day, Dublin, Ireland, Holyhead, Wales, Waterford, Ireland, then the Douglas, Isle of Man, Liverpool, a couple of sea days back to Copenhagen. This is a nice cruise. Here's the route. You can see how you would leave Copenhagen and head north and head over. I guess head over, and you're up on the northern part of. Of course, you come right into the UK and then go over the north area, down to Liverpool, over to Ireland, and back up over the north and over back to Copenhagen. And I found this deal. Look at this deal. So, you want to compare a 6-star cruise line to this cruise line, you got to compare balcony prices. So here's a base balcony deal of $9.99. Okay. And that doesn't sound like a bad arrangement, $9.99. But you have to add some add-ons. First of all, if you take a look at the ship's stats, it's built in 2018. It's 99,500 tons. It's 975 feet long. It's a big ship, 115 wide. It's great. 2,600 passengers, 1,000 crew. You come on down, and you'll see tipping expected, yes. Tipping guidelines. All America will automatically add $17 per day per guest to your onboard account, $19 per day per guest if you're in one of the suites. These amounts can be adjusted, and an 18% tip is added to all beverage orders. And I know that this is also on spa orders and stuff like that. Here's another little charge. If you're going in for the new StatDam wireless internet service, look at the prices of this. $34.99 per person per day for the premium plan, and the streaming plan $45.99 per person per day. So look, if you and your travel companion are going for the stream service, you're talking $92 a day on a 14-day cruise that I just looked at here. Holy moly, that's some serious money. That's $700 more dollars. Then you've got the tipping, the regular charge of $17 per person. 14-day cruise. We're talking over $200 more there. We're $1,000 more now between a wireless internet and standard tipping charge, room charge, service charge. Now you're drinking alcohol, you're having a beer, you get a beverage package or not, you're going to pay much more. Now, what I found was on top of first, I found this deal as I showed you, $9.99 for the ocean view of the balcony. I mean, look at this deal right here. They offered a deal for the add-on. They had an add-on available where for the balcony it would be $3,039. You would then get a free $100 onboard credit, and you would get a signature beverage package for two, which includes select alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, specialty dining for two, that includes 2 meals at select restaurants, $400 per cabin, not per person, but per cabin, shore excursion credit, and number 4, a Wi-Fi internet package for one device. So they're asking $2,000 more to get one Wi-Fi, 2 dining, especially dinings, that would be for 2. That's 4 of those. The beverage package for both of you, and a $400 secure cabin credit. That is incredibly expensive. I found that to be rather interesting. By the way, on board the ship, these restaurants here, the Pinnacle Grill is additional, $19 for lunch, $46 for dinner per person plus tips. Then the Tamarind restaurant, that's this one right here in the middle, that is Pan-Asian, and that one is $35 per person. And then down here is the Canaletto restaurant, Italian. They want $30, $29.50, $30 a person for Italian food. And then down here, if you want to go to the Nami Sushi, that's a la carte pricing. So that's per piece. And then Salle de Mer, French seafood, $55 each additional. So the two you go in there, that's $110 just to eat there. So, I mean, if you get 2 specialty dining 2 specialty dining packages included in that deal. That's only 2 meals out of a 14-day cruise. So the other 12 nights, you're in the dining room, the buffet, or you're going to go to these other restaurants and pay extra. You got your drink package. You've got 1 internet device, but not your gratuities. That's additional. So that's just 1,000 or 3,000, depending on how you want to do it. All right, 1,000 plus all the add-ons, or 3,000 plus a few add-ons yet. Amazing. Now, the ship that I compared this cruise to, I thought, well, let's go with a 6-star cruise. What can be offered there? And I found this cruise here, leaving Southampton and going all the way to Reykjavik. So let me show you this. This itinerary. This is Southampton on August 7th. This is a 13-day cruise. Sea day, then Newcastle, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Kirkwall, Lerwick, sea day. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Icelandic stops, and I'm not going to try to pronounce any one of them. Not even one am I going to try until you get to Reykjavik. That one I can pronounce. What you'll notice on this cruise is that the if you come all the way down here to tipping expected, no tipping expected, and tipping guidelines, it's all in your cruise fare except for beauty salon and spa treatments. Now the cruise, take a look at this. The brochure suite, $4,450, and a balcony suite is $7,100. The brochure suite still has a balcony, by the way. $4,450. This includes, notice right above my finger here, this includes gratuities, all alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, and unlimited internet. No limit to the internet, so it's all inclusive. That means both devices, or 3 devices, 4 devices. If there are 2 of you and you're using your laptop and you're using your phone and your partner's using a laptop and an iPad, all included. So that's good to know. That can be up to $45 a day per device. So that's worth money. The drink package, as you know, are can be $1,000 for the week or more. And then, of course, gratuities on this kind of a ship, you're looking at $20-25 a day per person. $50 times 13 is $650. So $4,450. Take away from $4,450, say $1,500 in the drink package for the 2 of you, and take away maybe $1,000 in internet and $600 in tipping. This is competitive with the certainly with the $3,000 deal on Statendam, and even more. Probably closer to the $1,000 level. Anyway, here again, coming back to the ship, just compare the ships. It was built in 2009, refurbished in 2018, 39,000 tons, 642 feet long, 86 wide. There's only 608 passengers. There's 400 crew. So there's a huge crew to passenger ratio, you see. There are no inside cabins. There's outside and verandas. 258 with suites. So very nice ship. Let me show you some photos of this ship. This is it right here. But I'll show you something interesting with the Silver Spirit. It's the Silver Spirit from Silver Sea. Silver Sea Silver Spirit, pardon me. I may have been remiss mentioning the brand name here. Lovely ship. Here's a top picture here on the top with the pool. But did you know, here's another nice shot at the back. Did you know this? This ship was cut in half to expand it a number of years ago, probably 6 years ago. They cut it in half, and then they added this middle section right here. Look at that. And they brought that baby in. They pre-manufactured that middle section. Then the ship came in. They cut it in half and inserted the middle portion there, added 90 feet to it, and then reattached everything. Isn't that amazing? Here's one of the cabins, very nice. Here's another one, high end. We're talking very nice high end. And of course, here's a spa area that you can use on board the ship, where you can see the sea out there. Beautiful stuff. This is a nice ship. So yeah, you compare the price of this kind of a cruise at 4,450 to this cruise here at 3,039, and you still have not been given the tipping package. That's still going to run you per person. Still going to run you what is it, $17-18 a day for the 2 weeks. So you're going to run. It's going to be over $250 on top of that. So now you're 3,300. And the device is just one device for one of you, so that's you're going to pay extra for that. Yeah, so you're, and then the special dining, it's only for two meals out of 14. Even if you go to two extra, especially restaurants for 14, you do two more, you're going to pay at least another $200 on top of that. So plus tips, rather expensive. And of course, don't forget, because they gave you the drink package, that doesn't mean that you don't pay the tips. The drink package is yours. The tipping is surcharged to you at 18%. So if that drink package is $1,000 each valued at, for 2 weeks, it might be $1,200. You're paying 18% on top of that $3,000. So you're up to $4,000 very quickly, even on this ship, versus being on a 6-star cruise line. Kind of something to think about when you go on a cruise like that. Anyway, that's interesting. Rocky, hi Bruce and everybody. Rocky, oops, going up to 80 tomorrow. Gas is about $3.20 a gallon, and I'm number 26 in the thumbs up. Thank you, Rocky. Appreciate you. Paul Romero, hi Bruce, just got off the Carnival of Valencia out of New York for 11 days. I was surprised to see that the same food served in the dining room is the exact same food served at the buffet. And that's is that good or bad? I it might be good if you're a buffet eater. It might be bad if you're thinking, I thought I'd get a better meal. Ms. M, Starlink is supposed to be the best and the quickest, by the way, for internet. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for me this year when Jen and I get on the Queen Mary 2 in August, September, and October for those 3 cruises. I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out for us charge-wise on the extras. What will it come out at? Which way is the best way to go? Of course, after the first cruise, the transatlantic, we'll have figured out the ship, and then we'll govern ourselves accordingly on the second ship, the second cruise, and the third cruise. So we may find that we get cheaper as we go. And I'll find out how good is the internet. Is the internet as good as they're charging me for it? We'll find out about that, and we'll see we'll see how that sort of works out. Certainly, I am very much looking forward with Jennifer to boarding this ship, the Queen Mary 2, the Queen Mary 2 in August out of New York, and of course in Southampton and Hamburg, and ultimately returning back to New York October 25. Kind of looking forward to it all. Certainly looking forward to entering this facility here a number of times. Hopefully this will be affordable and will be accommodatable and will be in perfect working order. And I'm looking forward to walking the deck of the ship and love walking around the promenade deck. I absolutely just love the promenade deck on cruises. I love to hang out towards the back of the ship as well. And yeah, we'll see how we enjoy our cabin. Here is again an illustration of what our balcony looks like. It's a sheltered balcony because we are dealing with a ship that is an ocean liner designed to go through the North Atlantic, and there are waves from time to time in the North Atlantic, so you can't have a fully exposed balcony like you would on a Royal Caribbean ship or a Carnival ship. You have to be prepared to handle the heavier seas, and so we're on basically the white, on that white strip that you see there just above the dark area of the ship. There are 2 rows of balcony windows. We're on the upper row, deck 6, kind of in the middle of the ship. And I think we're on this side. I think we're on the port side I think we're on the starboard side, the other side. So we're on this side of the ship, starboard side, top deck on the one, just below the lifeboats, the tenders. The first deck is the tenders are just below them is deck 7. We're on deck 6, the top part of the white spot there. Yeah, I'm quite excited. Jen and I are charged up. It's been a while since we've been on a cruise. 2015, the last time we were on a cruise ship. We were looking to go cruising in 18, 19, and 20. 19 and 20, and then COVID showed up, and that wiped that out. And so here we are, 2024, finally back on cruise ships. Looking forward to enjoying them. And we'll keep you posted on how things come together. So I will see you folks in 2 weeks. Thank you for being with me this week. Next week is the Monday holiday in the U.S. We're going to take that day off. We're returning to Calgary on Sunday, the day before next Monday, and we'll be running around town in Calgary getting groceries and getting ourselves all figured out. And so I will see you the week after when we're back on the air. Kirk, you got to get a frosty beer in Cork with Donnell. That's the plan. There's a plan to catch up with Donnell, and we're gonna work that out with him for sure in Cork, no question about it. We're gonna track that man down. Cork, Donnell, you stay healthy for me. Don't get ill on me. We want to catch up with you. Anyway, yeah. So that is the story, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, joining me tonight. Jennifer says hi to you all. We wish you a wonderful week, and next week a good week to all of you. Join me in 2 weeks when we're back on the air, and we'll have more information for you about our Queen Mary trip and our trip to Europe, and hopefully we'll run into some of you there as well. Tim Bowman, Paul, I have found the same thing on Holland America and on Princess. The food in the buffet is the same as the main dining room. Donnell, enjoyed the show. See you all in 2 weeks. I'll see you in September. Yes, sir. I will definitely be looking forward to catching up with you, my friend. That's going to be fun. Jen and I are looking forward to it. Have a great week, everybody, and a great week next week. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Those of you on the rerun, thank you again for hitting the thumbs up button. We do appreciate it. Have a wonderful time, and we'll see you soon from Calgary the next time we're getting together. Okay, everybody? Bye for now.